All right. Good morning, everyone. All right. Just a quick sound check before we get started. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Just want to make sure that you guys can see the shared screen and hear the mic, hear my voice. Wow, we have a full house tonight, meaning this morning. Okay. Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. A lot of you guys have seen in my trading room and in class this year, but a lot of you guys I have not seen. So, welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we had to wait a few more minutes because we have a lot of people coming in and still joining us. So, I want to make sure that nobody misses anything. All right, and we're going to start in just 1 minute here. Yes. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about dominating the 2025 market, and I think it's going to be a very exciting market. The volatility is still going to remain pretty strong throughout 2025, starting with the inauguration on January 20th into the end of the year. We have a lot of things that are happening, and we're here to do a technical projection on the major indices, and also we will go into some of my favorite stocks that are going to be top watch. And not only that, but I will initiate position in those. So today is going to be about the technical forecast. We are going to talk about these really high picks that I have selected for you. And trust me, there's a full list of it. I have it right here. I have scanned the market since January 2nd, and these are the stocks that literally caught my eye. We're also going to be talking about the winning strategy. So, what is the common denominator for picking these stocks, and of course, picking these indices, and what we see in the near future for these? And of course, actionable insights. Well, some of them as soon as tomorrow. So, we're going to do a dial in into the stocks. We're going to go top down and we're going to do the forecast. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. We're going to start right away. For those of you that are new in here, my name is Anka Metcalf, and I'm the CEO and founder of TradeOutLoud.com, which is a trading education that is specialized in educating individuals how to day trade, swing trade, and invest into the market. I have been doing this professionally for over 25 years, and prior to this, I come with 10 plus years in investment banking. Uh, I do specialize in high velocity trades, whether it is day trading or whether it is swing trading. So I have been featured in numerous financial media outlets. And before we actually get started, I just want you to take 1 minute to read the risk disclaimer. And basically, what we're saying here is that all information is provided for educational purpose only. Today we're going to be delivering the technical forecast for those of you that are very new to trading. So I don't know why my video just stopped. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see me or anyways. So we're going to be delivering the technical forecast for those of you that are very new to trading because it is very important that okay. Thanks so much. Hey, Steve. Okay, perfect. All right. You know what? I've been having these glitches with Zoom, but thank you so much for the heads up. Okay, so whether you're new to trading or whether you're a veteran, it's always a great idea at the end of the year, at the beginning of each quarter, and even at the beginning of each month to perform a technical analysis on the market in general, whether it's the Qs, the SPYs, the diamonds, whether it's in the futures that you're trading, anything that will project and will get you on the right track. And this is going to empower you. And literally, you're going to take a better control of your money. Because if you see that, you're not getting a good technical read on the market, and if you have to squint when you're looking at charts, just skip that and move forward to a next stock or a next index. Like, don't waste your time with these with charts, if the chart doesn't click right away, and if the chart doesn't speak to you right away, just ditch it and move on to the next. So why are we doing this? And I'm doing this at the beginning of each year. I'm actually going to attach when I'm sending out the recording, two recordings to forecast that we've done last year. And we do it every single year. We do it in the first week of January to see where we're at, to see where we came from, and to see what can potentially happen from the technical standpoint in the future. Obviously, there are a lot of factors that are not going to be factored into this technical analysis. And these are the economic releases. Not only that, but these are the earnings that are going to come. These are the all the things that are unforeseen. For example, the rate cuts or anything like that, the FOMC changes, right? So these are things that are going to produce the noise in the market, but the directional market is what we need to focus on. And by the way, did you guys know that the S&P had a 23% growth this year? So on a medium type of growth, you can expect somewhere around 10 to 12, but this year was insane. This year was on fire. Even with the December pullback that we've had, still closed with 23% up. This is incredible. So the charts that we will be reviewing, I'm just going to share, some of the charts that we will be reviewing right now, and then we're going to promise you guys we're going to go directly to charts. We're going to be reviewing the Qs, and we're also going to take a look at NASDAQ futures, which is pretty much a carbon copy of what we have into the Qs. We're going to take a look at SPX. We're going to take a look at SPYs. We're going to take a look at the diamonds. We're going to take a look at IWM. So for some of you guys that want to take a quick look at BTC and Bitcoin, that we could also accommodate. And these are some of my top picks for you guys for the beginning of the year. Microsoft. Microsoft is going to be a top watch. And in fact, yesterday, I don't know if you guys read it in the news, but yesterday it expects to spend $80 billion in 2025 on the construction of data centers that will handle AI workloads. So I don't know you guys, but I'm really going to be very, very focused on Microsoft. So the other stock that I absolutely love, and it's in a pullback phase right now, is Apple. And Apple target raised from multiple funds into this week. And I believe that it will catch some attention into next week as well. And of course, as we're getting closer and closer to earnings, because in about 10 days from today, I believe, yeah, in about 10 days from exactly 10 days from today, we will start earnings season. So that is when the fundamentals are really going to kick in and more information about these stocks are going to be revealed. And of course, we start with financials. And yes, we do need to have a very robust financial sector in order for the market growth. Have you noticed that every single time the financial sector is having some difficulty and it's starting to pull back? The market has a tendency to base and pull back with it. It's a main driver, especially in the SPX. So we're also going to talk about, yes, you guessed it. We're going to talk about Amazon, Tesla, and yes, NVIDIA. And these are the three leaders dominating the rise of AI robotics. And this is going to be a very big theme as we go into 2025, along with all the AI stocks. And yes, we have AI stocks. PLTR is one of them. And I also have a big surprise, something that I will add to my personal portfolio, and that is going to be on Monday morning. I just want to have a little bit of proof before I get in. But have you noticed that Fannie Mae has really popped up? I'm going to share with you a chart of Fannie Mae to see the potential for this stock. This is actually going to be a long term, right? So what we're going to visit today is going to be towards medium, perhaps long term, but Fannie Mae is going to be one of these stocks that has the potential of growth into the next 2 to 3 years. So I don't know if you guys have read the news, but Bill Ackman expects that President-elect Trump will remove Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac from conservatorship. So that means that they would go private. So if that is going to happen, any kind of news that is going to come up into this stock, whether, they're going to discuss a date where they may do that, or whenever it's going to be into discussion, this stock will have the tendency to move up. And by the way, it was trading on Friday. I think it was around $4.30. We're going to be revisiting the stock today, and I believe it has potential to move a lot and potentially to move to around $20 to $25. We're going to take a look at all this information. Yes, everything is recorded. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into some charts. And this is my favorite thing. All right. So just give me a heads up. Let me know if you guys can see the charts right here. Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Again, the session is recorded. You can review it at any time. It's going to be yours. And I highly recommend you revisit it because this is going to be very important. It's epic. Every single time I do a forecast and when I do a technical macro forecast, you're going to see it's right on the money. So you better save this recording for later to revisit later. So we're going to start with the SPX, right? So the SPX is very important. It's the benchmark really that represents a broader market, that represents the broader market rather than the diamonds or the Qs. Not that we're not going to revisit them, but yes, of course. I was going to show you exactly how important it is to actually watch this SPX, right? So first of all, what we have noticed is that since we have a bottom, and so we had a steeper pullback that came into August. So we have this pullback right here that came from this pivot high here in July, and we pulled back all the way into August, and then we bounced back up. Notice that this pullback here was created. And once we had the breakout, basically because the market was into this very broad indecision phase for a few days, I would say for about a week and a half, and then we have this level of 5,400. So notice that the S&P is very sensitive to these whole numbers, and we're going to pay attention to the whole numbers as we're moving forward into our analysis. So the SPX is actually one of the indices that loves these whole numbers and tends to pull back into the whole numbers, tends to develop resistance into the whole numbers. And in fact, you guys could see it right here, 6,100. This minor support zone pivot formed into the 6,000. And then the pullback here came very close to the 5,800, 5,830 or so, this pivot that we just had, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. So what we have here is basically a pivot high, a pivot low. We had a full retracement back into the pivot, and then we started trending, power trending. Now, what happened in here into December, right? So we had the power move moving forward. Then we had an indecision phase. Why did we have this indecision phase? And like I said, there are going to be factors that are going to impact the market. One of these factors was the FOMC, the rate cut that happened here. And you can see that the rate cut, and it was not the rate cut itself, it was the dovish comments of Powell that literally sent Chair Powell that sent the price back into a prior support zone. But remember that everything that is technical has the upper hand. So you could get a tape bomb the way we had it over here, in which a lot of traders would think, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. But any kind of pullback in the market is an opportunity to get back in. It's an opportunity to prepare your shopping carts. It's an opportunity to get your list ready for the next move into the market. So here we had a retap into the prior support zone. Now this level was so important because if you see here, the pivot high that we had on October 16th held really well. This is the new support level. This is actually the new minor support that from which the price bounced when it went into a higher trajectory, when it actually formed the new all-time high, and then it was the base here. And it's very normal to have that base going into FOMC. We're going to see it again and again and again every single time, not unless we have some clues. There are sometimes some whisper numbers, there are sometimes some rumors that are coming out, or there are suggestions that are coming out that may impact the FOMC, right? So whenever we have the FOMC into the beginning of the quarter, the FOMC doesn't become as relevant as it becomes into the end of the quarter. And let me remind you that this was at the end of the quarter, right? Because it just so happened on December 18th, just before Christmas and just before the holidays. So the volume was already getting thinner. So whomever made money on this big move to the upside decided to take some profits. And this here was nothing else but the selling machine that were triggered. That's what it was. It was a base breakdown. It was a technical base breakdown that took the price back into support. What do you think happened? The next day, after the FOMC, we had an indecision day. So what happened in this indecision day? We had compacted price action, compressed price action. So this is the inside bar that we had here. You guys can see it. It's this little bar right here that I'm referring to. And then we had the slingshot just pulled a little bit lower before punching higher. Remember that everything you do in life, what do? You pull back before you move forward. It's the bow and arrow effect. When you're doing the bow and arrow, you pull back to shoot forward. For example, when you go to school, you go to college, or you take a course, what do? You invest in yourself. So you're basically investing money or losing money first in order to make money, right? Same thing with the stock market. So what you're doing, sometimes you're getting in a stock, and before it moves higher, it pulls back a little bit and then it jumps. It's that compression slingshot effect that we're getting. And it's valid into the market as well. So we have the slingshot and push forward. Now, this time around, this was actually the little Christmas rally that we had. And it was about a 4-day rally. It was very intense from December 20th all the way to this peak right here into the 26th. And then it's normal if you're looking at a trader's almanac, or if you have studied charts as long as I did, you would see that oftentimes you're going to get a pullback into the right after Christmas. And you're also getting the pullback after New Year's. And this is part of the January effect. Now, we're not going to go into details here, but this is just normal. I just want to share with you guys that this is not something that is not normal. It's very normal for the price to pull back. So obviously, I was very excited yesterday when I saw the price action that it rotated above Thursday's high. And why is that? Well, because we actually created a strong buy zone here. And not only that, but look at this. We have a triple bottom effect. So we have a low, and we have a revisit of the low and a revisit of the low. And if you're looking very closely here, you see this green line, right? This is prior resistance that was developed in October that right now became of massive importance. Why? Because not only that, we bounced once, we bounced twice, and this is the third bounce around. Okay, so this is very important. So definitely the uptrend has not changed. So we should remain bullish for at least into going into next week. And these are immediate price actions. So 60-20 for the first target area, and then we're going to shoot for the all-time high. Now I'm going to go to a chart that is a little bit far out, and this is the monthly chart. Whenever I do projections, I like to look at these monthly charts because these are so important. Quarterly charts I analyze yearly charts, and by the way, this was one of the most phenomenal year that SPX has ever had. Look at the size of this candle, much bigger than anything else that we had before. We're a little bit here into 2020 under the pandemic with a huge bottoming till that swoosh the price back up right into 2021. But we're going to go to this to this monthly chart just to show you what we can expect in the market and what we have already had into the market. So first off, you guys remember 2022, right? So 2022, we had the pullback. Everybody was Not very excited because the market was pulling back, not a lot of investing opportunities. So definitely for investors, it was a year to wait until the pullback and the rotation form. But I want to show you something very exciting here. So I'm going to take my fibs out and I want to show you where we can potentially go because we have just escaped into a massive void, an area in which we have consolidated here for about 3 months into the 1.618 into the 5640 zone. And once we escaped above the 5630 40 zone, we are starting to move higher. And this is the projected target that we should expect. So it's basically 7,000, right? So that's where we're shooting for. And this can happen, like I said, it's not like a matter of, like precisely when it's going to happen in 5 days. It's going to happen in 2 months. This is the overall performance because stocks do, and obviously indices do not go straight up. So they go up, they pull back a little bit, they go up, they pull back a little bit, they go up, they pull back a little bit. And this is the macro projection on it. And this is from the retracement that happened here into the high and into the low, into the high in January 2022, and the bottom that was set in October. Now, everybody knows what happens in October, right? It's the start of earning season, right? So it's one of the most powerful rotations, and things got a little bit better there. And you can see that the market rotated, it based, and it continued higher. Now, if you're an investor, you should stay long. I have a lot of stocks in my investing portfolio and a lot of stocks in my swing trade portfolio. I have a little bit longer term swing, not like a regular swing, but I will be very bullish on this move. And there's also another way in which you can calculate these projections. So for example, if you see that the price action has already created a triple bottom, which is a phenomenal, fantastic area of support, you could actually calculate the new target zone that we have based on the levels that we currently have on the daily. And these are targets that are medium term. So if you're a swing trader, these are going to be the targets that you're going to be looking for. If you're a little bit of a long-term trader, then you're going to be looking for the 7,000. But if you're a swing trader or if you're an active investor, these are the level, or if you're trading options, especially for the SPYs, these are the targets that you should be looking for. So after achieving the all-time high, whenever that's going to happen, and of course, we're going to talk about the downside as well into the bearish side because we never know what happens, right? So we have to be prepared. But there's always going to be inverse ETFs where you can take advantage, even if your IRA or 401k and your long-term accounts. So it's even if you cannot short, you can take advantage of these inverse ETFs. So if we start moving higher, and we talked about immediate targets here as going into this prior high rate here into the 6,000 and going into the 6,100, right? So what happens if we break into all-time highs? Now, remember that every single institutional trader is very prepared with a measured move based on which they will take decisions on how much size they're going to allocate and what is the next target where they may take some profits. The next target, and this is again medium-term target, the next target is going to be into the 6170. So whenever I see that the price action is in between these whole numbers, I go to one step down and I will consider the 6150, right? 6150 to 6180 because it's the area around that 6173. And if we escape higher, you can see here 6200, this is going to be the next projected target. And if we start marching higher from that point, then we have the 6500. So these are the levels. You could actually pause this when you're viewing it as recording, and you can actually jot down these prices for you to have in your trading journal, in your trading manual, in a notebook. So these are the targets right here. Now we're going to go one by one, and I'm actually going to start with the Qs right here. So the Qs are actually into a massive power trend, right? You can see it right here. This is the daily chart, massive, massive uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, nothing indicating that we will actually start pulling back. Obviously, if once we developed a high, a lower high, and then a second lower high, things are going to shift and we become bearish. That is when we enter a confirmed downtrend. So we need to have that high and a lower high and another lower high, and of course two lower lows. That is going to be the indication that the price action cannot challenge the prior peak twice. And that is actually the test. So it cannot challenge it once, it cannot challenge it twice. So therefore the downtrend is formed. But as of right now, this is nothing to be worried about. Nothing unless we break below. So for example, here, this is just going to take my little cursor so I can show you exactly what a downtrend and when you should be concerned about a pullback here. Okay, so here, okay, we have the rotation, right? We have the double bottom formation. This is fine. But here we have a high and we have a lower high right here. If the price action is going to be unable next week to move higher to achieve this prior high or this all-time high right here, and it will reverse, meaning it's going to have a sell action. And if this sell action is going to break below these two lows right here, we will have the third lower high, meaning this is the high, this is the first lower high, and this is the second lower high. So what this means is that we would enter into a confirmed downtrend. So from this point on, you will think more bearish than bullish. And of course, it's going to cross below the trend line as well. So this is going to be the shorting zone. It's not going to be long-lived. Why? Because we have a massive level of support right here. You can see it. We have these peaks, right? So we have this peak over here. We have this peak over here, right? And actually this low right here, believe it or not, if I cross the line here, look how technical it is, because this is resistance that now transformed into support, right? This is actually minor support that we have, and we have the bounce one and the bounce number two. Okay, so this is the level right here that I would actually, be careful with if I want to position myself in a long. Okay, so the level that I would be concerned is going to be the 500 because it's a whole number zone, and that is actually going to be the one area that if we break below, I would be very cautious. Okay. But as of right now, we can expect, based on the close that we had, we can expect a continuation higher. So that means that we can expect a challenge of the prior high that we had into the 531 and a prior high that we have right here into the all-time highs, into the 539. It's actually 539.15, the all-time high right here, this candle. All right, so this is for immediate action. How about longer term price term action, right? And by the way, here we didn't discuss projections. So because we have a double bottom formation, we're gonna do right now, we're gonna actually look at some projections and where the price may escape to. First target is obviously going to be the prior high and the all-time high, but if we start breaking above, these are the levels that we need to look at, and that is the 550 area, right? 560 area, and then we enter a swing core. So this is basically a power move that we can have. But remember that at each and every single level, there are going to be little pullbacks because the traders will be looking to take partial profits. And I highly encourage everybody to actually take action when you are achieving a target, because everything is so unpredictable in the stock market. You want to make sure that you peel some off, that you want to make sure that you actually trim some into that spot. Because, and whether you want to trim or not, you got to think about this. How would you feel? Okay, so let's say the Qs are going right here into the 550. How would it make you feel if the price action, and if you didn't take profits, how would it make you feel if the price action is going to pull back to 525? Okay, how would it make you feel? Are you okay with it? Because it all depends on your risk tolerance, right? And if you're okay with it, then you're in for the long run, right? You're in for the long haul. However, if you're getting this pullback and you go like, oh my God, I just hate what just happened. I'm never going to do it again. And if you have that feeling, it doesn't make you feel very comfortable. Okay, then you are going to, if you're comfortable, stay in. If you're not comfortable, don't stay in. Okay. The other thing would be like, for example, a question that you should ask yourself is what if I don't take profits here at let's say 550, and what if the price is going to go to 560? Okay, how would it make you feel if you miss this move, if you take all your profits here? So that's a really big thing. That's why scaling is so important. Remember, you could always add back in, right? You could always add back in. And I love to do this when the price is going to the upside. Scale a little bit out, and on any kind of pullback on these technical levels, just add back in at the next rotation or at the next technical spot. But basically, we see a good projection all the way into the 590 area. And I just want to show you the monthly chart again, very important. Remember, the only pullback that we had on the monthly chart was the pullback from 2022, right? January through October. So this is the projection. Notice how the price action went here in July, went back down to retest the 450. You can see it right here, retesting the 450 and then punching the 450 again, going back up and staying here for a good amount of time. And these are months, right? Because we stayed here 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And the 5th month, we actually broke out. Do you guys think there's any other upside targets here? There are, okay? So the first target that is first target from this point on for long term that the Qs are looking into is going to be the $650. $650. That's not too much, right? But this is the next projection for price. And remember that when we look at these charts, look at, for example, this is January 2024, right? So this is January 2024. This is actually a measured move. Let's do a measured move from here to here into the top right here. And this is about a 27%. This is $116, right? This is $116. So if we move the price action here from this level to this level right here, that would be like about $150. So it would be a measured move equivalent to the one that we already have. So it's a symmetric move that we've had that we could potentially have. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer your questions. Now we're going to go a little bit faster through these indices, and we're going to go right now to the diamonds. All right, so the diamonds here were a little bit weaker, right? You can see here from the daily chart that we had some minor support here that was violated, and we had some resistance here with a big minor support zone all the way here. And the diamonds needed a little bit more time to digest this move. So as of right now, what can we see? We have the high and a lower high, right? So we could witness right now a change in the structure. So whether we're going to remain bullish and perform this rotation above the 430 level, and from this point on we could go higher. We could have, for example, that measured move from here to here, right? And then if the price action is going to break this massive minor support zone, we will become, or even earlier, if we break, for example, this level right here, okay, just below these lows. And by the way, we don't have a double bottom formation yet because we don't have that rotation that has happened here, right? So we need the price to get above the 430 level in order to start moving higher. So from this point on, we could see that the price action may have room not only to go into the 450, and remember, we can expect pullbacks at these resistance points. And this is a massive, massive point that is coming from this prior high, right? So now the next action for the price action is either to base here, to pull back a little bit, and then to challenge the prior high, the all-time high. But definitely the diamonds and Russell have been one of the weakest, right? So we're just going to, kind of like see where they're at. Remember that the first earnings are coming right now within the Dow stocks, right? So we have financials on the 14th, we have JP Morgan City, first banks that are going to report. So this is going to be very interesting because they're going to be setting the tone. So that means that the Dow is going to be first impacted by this reaction. So now let's talk a little bit about projections, right? So because we had this massive action in 2020, 2022 for the pullback, we're still going to reference the 2022 level. So you can see that we're guiding ourselves from the activity from the left-hand side from the 2022 action. So are we going to go higher? Of course we are. Take a look at this. $500 is in the cards for the diamonds, right? $500 is in plan for the diamonds. Moving forward for the diamonds. This is so interesting. All right, now we're going to take a quick look at Russell, and then we're going to go into the good stuff to pick some, to get into some really hot picks right now. And let's check out the IWM. We're going to start with the monthly chart because this has a massive projection higher because it has already achieved the prior high. And notice that this index, look at this support level that it has developed. So we went higher all the way to 2018, right? So I can't believe that we're talking about 2018. So we have the 2018 here. We had a revisit back in 2020 before everything went down. Okay. And then the price action burst back up in 2021. And then we had the pullback. Look at where the pullback is. That's why I'm telling you guys, pay attention to technicals. Technicals are so important. So we pulled back right here, right into the prior high. And by the way, this base right here and this support lasted from 2022 all the way to 2023, a year. So it has been a year in which the price action has been really, really, really choppy. And it wasn't until February, actually December to February to March of last year of 2024 that we started to push higher. So you can see it started to push a little bit higher here. All right, so this is a significant high, significant low right here. So let's go ahead and see where Russell, and by the way, you know that Russell has a true potential of screaming higher under Trump. So let's watch this and see where it goes. It was favored right here in definitely in 2020. And by the way, here 2017 to 2018 had a slight pullback here in 2018. Everybody remembers the 2018, right? With a slight pullback, then base, then this is the pandemic, and then shifted higher. So you have to take that into consideration as well. So basically, small caps have benefited tremendously from that administration. So we're looking forward to see if they're going to benefit from this administration as well, from the new Trump administration, and then we could see a potential rise higher in here. So we see that this is resistance, right? And the next level, the next target level that we're going to be looking at is this 270 area, and then we have the 300 zone. So these are the two levels that I will be focusing on for this year. Okay, so now that we had everything right here, let's take a quick look here at BTC. All right, and this is the, and we're going to go here onto the weekly because everybody's asking about Bitcoin. I just selected this BTC, which is the Grayscale Bitcoin Mini Trust. This is the daily chart that shows tremendous compression into the highs. Now, you guys know that Bitcoin skyrocketed. If you don't want to go through the hassle of, for example, like owning Bitcoin and having a wallet and all that stuff, you could actually go into BTC this way, into Bitcoin this way. So we have a tremendous level of support here, just above the 50 SMA, into the $40. And this is the high. This is the all-time high that it had. So because we have already rotated here and have a considerable, support zone, I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to keep this on the daily chart because it's always a good idea to look at smaller time frames first, and we're gonna project some targets here. So we could see it into the $50. This is gonna be a really big target because price action in stocks in general or ETFs that are below, um, let's say below $25 or below $40 or so, they are going to have a huge impact into the $50, right? $50, the whole number area is something that creates resistance. So the number itself creates resistance. The other thing is that stocks that are trading around $80 or let's say $75, for them, there's going to be a big impact. And hear me out, not so much around the $100, but around $120. That's right. And watch these stocks because once they pop up above $100, once they gravitate around the $80 to $90, they're going to start popping up to $120. So pay very close attention to that. So when you're looking, for example, on a higher time frame chart here, and if that's why I said the daily chart is more representative for projecting targets. So you can see the weekly, same high, same low. And from the daily, you can see these are the projected targets. So $50, $60, these are going to be really, really big, big targets. And again, this is going to be long term. Now, if you decide to trade Bitcoin, and if you decide to trade this BTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin and Mini Trust, remember that Bitcoin is 24/7, right? Now, this is not 24/7. So if Bitcoin is going to take a hit, for example, on Saturday and Sunday, and you're going to see it somewhere trading, below support, the charts are pretty much identical. Okay, so if you're going to see it trade below support, you're going to end up with a gap down. Okay, just as here you see a gap up. So you have to make sure that you stomach that. Okay, so this is something that you need to take into consideration. All right, so from this point on, we're going to switch right now to my favorite stocks. First off is going to be Microsoft. And we're going to go to higher time frames here because this is a projection session. And we have a really considerable base here. As long as the support is going to hold, and I'm going to put a little line in here, as long as the support is going to hold, and this is the 380 area, I think that we're good. First of all, if we break this support, we're going to start pulling back, and the next pullback zone is going to be the 350, and the 350 is coming from this prior high. So everything is super technical right now. We have a prior low, and we have the minor support zone right here into the 350. Now, notice that the price action in Microsoft is really holding above the 10 EMA, which shows power trend. And this is on a really higher time frame. This is on a monthly chart. So what we're going to be doing is tracing some levels right here that will show us the next projection in price. So if if Microsoft is going to start challenging the prior high, right? Because first of all, we need to achieve the all-time high. That's achieve the prior high price on the prior resistance. The next thing that we need to do is basically to start moving higher. So we need to go into the 450. These are measured targets. 450, 500, and 600. So this is what I look at when I invest in a stock, okay? I look at further projections higher. And whenever I hit one of these technical levels, I already have a take profit into that area. I don't need to have an alert. I don't need to set anything. I just, put my order, whether or not get filled at a certain level. And remember, I usually set it around this area. So for example, for the target level of 490, I'm going to have, some fills at 480, at 483, at 485, and probably some shares at 490. So I'm going to scale out, it's the same way institutions do. So not hitting a whole bunch at the same level, but I'm going to have it layered. Okay, so this is exactly, pretty much the analysis into Microsoft. This is the projection into the 600 that could very easily go throughout this year. This is the January where I'm holding my cursor. This is the January low. So you can see that the stock price stock had a growth from January all the way into hitting this all-time high in July. And for the rest of the year, it just based. It really didn't do much. So for the long-term investor, this didn't really, just deliver, okay, that much. But in any case, these are the projection levels that we're seeing from the weekly standpoint. Like if you're looking at an immediate action, you can see that the price action is going higher. Even on the weekly, you can see that these levels are on point right here. I like the fact that we're grinding a little bit higher with all the news that is hitting, with Microsoft and the news that we had yesterday with Microsoft. This could potentially lift the stock higher. The next stock that we have is Apple. Apple is one of my favorite stocks. We're going to go to a monthly chart right here, and you're going to see that the stock price, the stock has had a tremendous growth throughout 2024. It actually rotated in April 24. So every single time when I see a pullback, for example, on a higher time frame, on a monthly time frame, or a rotation on these time frames, I love to add to my long-term portfolio. And this is just incredible because it could potentially deliver really, really great results without me having to do anything. Okay, so Apple is one of these stocks that could potentially deliver big time as we're heading into as we are in 2025. Quarterly chart extremely strong. Look at this breakout right here. So it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles almost until it had the breakout, and we are into a continuation pattern right here. But okay, so let's go here. Okay, so basically what we're going to be looking for is a rotation going into next week. So this is some immediate action because remember I promised you guys that we're going to have we're going to show you some immediate actions right here. So first of all, we need to hold this level. The weekly chart, you can see that it pulled back to the 10 EMA, right? And we have a level of minor support here into the 237 to 240 level. So 240 is the level that I would like this stock to hold. And if we rotate here into next week and take out the 254, we're heading on higher. And then based on the weekly, we could do a much better forecast. Because of the base that we had here, we could actually do a forecast based on this base alone, which I would like to do right now. And let's see where that is. I'm going to take this to here. Okay. And let's take a quick look and see what are the targets moving forward for 2025 for Apple. So first target is into the 260 area. It came very close, very, very close actually into the 260 to 264. Remember when I was telling you guys, and by the way, these levels, you should know ahead of time because you can project these levels, right? So when the price action broke above this base, we knew exactly where Apple was heading, right? And notice how it stopped into the 260 and notice where the projection is into the 264. It's exactly what I was mentioning a little while ago, is that it's the area around it. So be ready to scale right before that resistance, right? So now take a look how technical this is. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit here. Okay, look how technical it is. It pulled back, right? It pulled back to the 10 EMA here onto the weekly, and it also into the 240 level. And again, this level should hold. If this level is not going to hold, it's going to go back into the minor support zone from this prior high. So it's going to go right here into the 237. Okay, if we break that, then we're going to go to the 20 SMA. But if we rotate, so if next week we're going to see a move higher above $253, okay, we are going to set higher. Okay. All right. Why not? This was actually like a post earning slingshot. Yeah, it was it was some kind, yeah, it was the yeah, so I'm not going to consider that because that is the price fluctuation. That's one great thing that I wanted to mention. Like if you're in a swing trade, and it's all, again, it's all about your tolerance, how you can tolerate any kind of pull. How does it make you feel? Okay. Because if you're uncomfortable, just take it out and don't, just take yourself out of the trade and done. But when you're trading price action, you have to be very flexible. So for example, here, this is where the earnings hit right here, right? Typically, the price action into earnings is going to have a big fluctuation, right? It's always going to have a big fluctuation. What I do when I'm in swing trades, I cancel the hard stops that I have. And to be very honest, I don't even place hard stops when I'm swing trading. I'm placing some alerts a little bit higher than where the price is at because I don't want a gap down, for example, to take me out. So then I can add back in. But definitely this is not very significant because it was the fluctuation after the earnings. This was the reaction after the earnings. It was the fleecing, right? It was the fleecing. Whether it is moving up or down or whatever it is, it is. So you have to be very careful. And I'm glad that you brought it up. Yeah, technicals and low history repeats itself. It is incredible. It is incredible. That's the reason why we need to pay very close attention to the technicals on the chart because you could have, and many, many times, I have seen stocks that had amazing earnings results and gap down to a support level, whether it gap down that day or the next few days, that support zone where it pulled back to didn't change anything. So the buyers stepped in, algo stepped in, institutions stepped in because fundamentals are going to take a second place because technicals are going to be stronger. There are many more, so many traders that are trading more technical than fundamental. And of course, algos, right? Algos play a big, big role. So if the algos are going to see that there is a pullback into a support zone, what do you think they're going to be doing? They're going to buy, right? Do you think they have the ability to say, oh, but wait a minute, we had earnings and these results came in. They have no idea what earnings are, right? So just think technical and you're going to be good. Okay. So, all right. So let's continue. This is Apple. This is the forecast for Apple, Nvidia. This is again one of my absolute favorite stocks. If I don't know what your goals are in trading, but I am going to focus more on my long-term goals in trading. That doesn't mean that I'm just gonna quit day trading. No, I'm still gonna day trade for income to be able to put money into my swing trades and into my investments, but I definitely plan on making more investments this year than what I've made into the last 3 to 4 years. I think it's the best time to start investing. If you have been sitting on the sidelines, if you have been sitting on cash, Nvidia is a really great stock. First of all, it delivers. It's good for swing trading. It's great for day trading, and also it's phenomenal for investing because it delivers dividends, right? So even if the stock is down, for example, here, you still collect the dividends. I mean, it's something that I'm loaded in my portfolio. And this is not my number one position in size. I'm going to share with you my number one position in size next, but this is basically the second one that I have in size. It's a really, really huge one for me. All right, so you can see it here even onto the monthly. Remember when we talked about the indices and we saw the pullbacks in 2022. Look how mild 2022 was. It was just a big buying opportunity here and a shallow pullback here in 2023, and this is where we are right now. So some projections for it. I'm gonna go to the weekly right here and do some projections for the weekly. And I'm going to go top to bottom here. This is the recent one. These are the levels that I am shooting for. First of all, I want to see it into the 180 to 200 and then into the 237. And the next one is my absolute favorite, AVGO. This is Broadcom. This is a phenomenal stock. It delivers phenomenal dividends. So if you have it in your portfolio and reinvest, by the way, reinvest those dividends. Don't let them in your portfolio just sit on the sidelines. Just get a few more shares of depending on how many shares you have, get a bit more shares of either this or another symbol. I typically compound into the same one. And Broadcom is one of them. Broadcom is a phenomenal stock. It had a beautiful base breakout. We're going to be referring to okay, here we go right now. And so I'm going to go from top to bottom right here. And as you can see, so you can see here that I went to the downside because it's after earnings. This is not the fleecing on the day of earnings or the next day. It's a little bit further down. It's in sync with the support level. So this is where I'm at. So we're halfway to 275 level for the target. And we could see a projection higher into the very close to 400 into the 368. And you can see here we have the punch higher, we have the pullback right to this level. You cannot make this thing up. You can see it here, came back into the 220 level, and then inside bar that we had last week. And look at this little inside bar for this week. This shows again price compression that is ready to push higher. It's very bullish on Broadcom, and Broadcom is just going to soar. If you're looking, for example, at if you're looking, for example, at the performance that it had, let's go to the monthly here. Okay, the performance that it had in 2024. Look at this is the January 2024 right here. This is the low of 2024. Okay, and look at the month of December. Right. Why do you think this happened? Like from the technical standpoint, forget about earnings because these are earnings right here, right? So forget about earnings. What do you think happened? What do you think happened here? Was it something technical, or was it like, gosh, I don't know. Okay. It was a massive breakout that happened at 185. Massive, massive, massive breakout that happened, right? Okay. Another stock that I have, in my portfolio is Costco. Okay, take a look at Costco. Again, big breakout here, right? Stock rising. This is January of 2024. Look at it go here. And by the way, this is a little bit into a retracement mode right now, so it's not ready to get picked up. But if you're on the investor side, again, you can pick it up anytime. But I would wait for a little bit of a pullback into the 860 or 850 or so. And I'm going to go here to the weekly. And I think that the best projections are going to come in after we get this rotation. But what we could do is we could actually refer to this high low. This is very shallow right here. So we could go by this high low right here. So the next projections are into the 1200, very, very close into the 1200. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that Costco into the next 2 years or so, it could see the 1200. That's first of all, let's see it into 1000, let's see it into 1050, and then we're going to go into 1200. Remember what I said about that 120 level? Okay. So yeah, let's take a look at the next stock that I have picked for you guys. This is Amazon. And Amazon is again one of the very, very strong stocks since the pullback that it had here. Quite a bit of a pullback here that it had this summer. It actually projected nice, and it continued nicely higher. So for the next targets in Amazon, we're seeing the 210 level right here that broke out was fantastic. And you can see here that the price action may have the tendency to pull back into the 210. If it's not going to pull back, it means that it will have so much strength that it's going to start popping higher. Where to? Here it is, into the very close to the 280. So that is the 280 zone where the price action is Amazon is going to be most likely pulled as a magnet. Meta is going to be, and I'm going to be adding more shares of Meta to my investing portfolio. Look at the weekly compression here. 2 straight weeks in which the price action has compressed a lot, ready to burst higher. This is very bullish going into next week. Okay, so next week, 608, that is when it's going to go a little bit. That is when it's going to hit new highs, most likely. So from the projection standpoint, we're going to go right here. And we're going to take a look at what we can expect for Meta. So Meta currently trading at $600. Next target 700 to 750. Okay, 700 to 750. All right, let's move on to the next one, Tesla. Okay, so Tesla has been in the news lately, right? This is the weekly chart right here. This is the monthly chart, right? So you can see that it had a massive move. It was in relation to the election of, and that created the momentum in the stock. It was like the news. It was in the news all the time. I'm seeing it very bullish for next week. In fact, it could have a trigger long over $428, and it could start moving higher immediately. Look at the quarter that it had, and I just want to show some projections. Remember, it's not a automaker, so Tesla is not considered. It's considered AI. It's considered a tech stock, right? It's not considered, like Ford or General Motors. So I'm going to go on a very high time frame right here, and this is the quarterly chart, because technology is always going to have growth, right? We need technology in our life to make our life better, right? So since the tech bubble, since we had the pullback, right? So remember, before the year 2000, everything was moving up. Every single tech was moving higher, right? And then we had the tech bubble and the price, pulled back, but it was a measured move. So everybody that freaked out in year 2000 till the pullback resumed back into the trend, right? Just freaked out, but it was just a measured move. Okay. And another seminar, I will explain to you what happened in 2000 and what that measure move is all about. But for now, you're going to see tech stocks just soar higher. Okay, so I have a lot of tech stocks into my investment portfolio. I have spiders. I have the Qs. I have a lot of stocks that are tech related. All right, and talking about a measure move to the upside, let's see where we're going here, and let's see if the price action started to pull back here by accident. And I don't think it was an accident, because we hit right around that 500. That's a whole number by itself, a psychological level, and then it started to pull back. And you can see here, very bullish start right into resistance. And yes, we're going to have that 500 target again. We're going to have the 600 target again, and it's going to go by 100 to 100 to 100 to 100 to about $1,000, right? To about $1,000, 900. All right, so let's move on to the next stock that we have, and that is Google. Again, Google is going to be a stock that is going to soar, okay? Regardless of what you feel about these stocks, right? Whether you like Musk or not, whether you like Tesla or not, you don't have to drive it. You don't have to own it. But play the stock, because the stock is going to make you rich, not whether you like somebody or don't like somebody. All right, so Google is again very, very strong. We're gonna, whoops. All right, very strong. Gonna show some projections for it, since we have this beautiful pullback here in September, and these are the targets for. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, these are the targets for Google. I'm just squishing them here so you guys can see all the targets above. So we have the 200, we have the 250, and we have the 300 to 340. Google, very good stock to own. And by the way, Google, Meta, Amazon, Google, so Tesla, Meta, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft, all these stocks are part of the Magnificent Seven, and they have performed this year. They have performed amazingly the year before that. Is this going to be the third year where they will start performing? We'll see, but I think from the technical standpoint, definite yes. And I have some other surprises for you guys. AI stocks, because we're talking about AI. The focus in 2025 is still going to be AI. So I have some stocks for you guys with immediate action. This is Twilio, TWLO. And we have a very strong congestion here. Now, this one doesn't really have like that strong upward projection. You're going to be probably take it for a longer term swing, not necessarily like a shorter term swing, like 2 days to about, I don't know, 2 weeks. But look for the 200 SMA as a target. So right now trading at 113, very bullish above 113. I see a profit target into the 133, and look at it every single month or every quarter or every week if you want to. This is a great congestion that you have there. Another AI stock is SOUN. And SOUN, again, from the daily perspective, real big. And I love the price point. You can't really find stocks that are in the $20 range a lot, because most of these tech stocks, you saw that they became a little bit more pricey. They're obviously over $100, $300, $400, $500. This is one that has a great potential to get into the hundreds, and this is SOUN. It's trading right now at 20 bucks, and you can see here that it has a huge compression since mid-December. So that means that it's really waiting for something to happen. Now, earnings is, kind of far away, because earnings is already scheduled on February 27th, right? But this is something that you need to look for, because this is very bullish above last week's high, and could potentially go, like I said, your first target is going to be, okay. So no, I didn't show you on this one. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to do the projections on this one. All right, here we go. The targets are going to be the following. So obviously, if it achieves, and after it achieves the 25 bucks, which is the all-time high, we can expect continuation higher into the 27, 29, and into the $37. So this is huge. UPSD, this is a stock that I have been in. I had a stop around the $64, and then, like I said, I don't, and especially when the market is getting volatile into the end of the year, or when it's right ahead of earnings, the day ahead of earnings, or a day after, I don't use a hard stop, because I don't want to get stopped out. It's fine if you use a hard stop, but I personally don't use a hard stop, because I use these levels right here, so I have a game plan in case it drops. I have, my risk tolerance. My risk tolerance says that I could have it, and I could still own it. This is very interesting. UPSD is still very interesting. I like it again from the weekly standpoint, because this is going to be very bullish above the high that we had on on Friday. All right. So again, for AI stocks, the focus is going to be basically Nvidia, Meta, right? And PLTR. PLTR is, again, one of these stocks that are waiting to pop up even more. You can see that it already had a tremendous amount of growth. From the daily, you could see that it is still basing right here. It had a slight pullback. Look at the initiation higher. If you want to take it for a quick swing, you could take it on Monday above the prior high. This is what I'm going to be doing. But if you're looking, for example, on a monthly chart, you can see here that it's ongoing. So this one is the type of stock that you want to buy, even on the quarterly here. You can see, take a look at the quarterly here. Last quarter was the best quarter yet. Okay. So if you're looking, for example, at an area, because it's very hard to find pullbacks in this, right? So you're just going to have to go by little by little by little. Keep in mind, earning season is going to start, and that's going to be a roller coaster. So revisit your risk tolerance. Position sizing is very important. So February 3rd is when it's going to report earnings, right? So we have the high, the low here. These are the immediate targets, right? So we're looking at potentially moving higher into the $90, $100, and $125 in PLTR. So this one definitely should be on the list. And Uber is also another stock that we should be looking at for 2025. It's in sync. It has been basing a whole lot. It's holding the minor support from 2021, so not pulling back below that. And I think it should be very bullish for this month. And it has some really good target zones as we're moving forward into this year. Oops. Okay. All right. This is it. All right, so these are the targets for it. Obviously, we're going to be looking for, of course, achieving, first of all, the high right here. But if it takes out the all-time high, we should be looking for 95, 100 bucks, and $140. And this is Uber. And the last one that I have is FNMA. And again, this is not going to be a swing. This is going to be a long term. Oh, yeah. So yesterday when I was looking at it was at $4.30. And I didn't take it. So I saw that the price action gained some volume. I didn't like the low volume that it popped on. So it means that institutions were not really the one driving higher, but a lot of retail traders. Look at the big move that it had, 80% right here on December 30th, right? So on the week of December 30th, so this week right here. So it had a massive, massive move. This usually, whenever we have this this initiation candle, this igniting candle, price should move higher. So for the long term, I'm going to go here to the quarterly charts. You can see that back in 2008, remember 2008 with the financial crisis. Okay, so it was up here, then it went lower, and now it's basing lower. Now, the fact that it may be taken private, we're seeing a potential, we could see a potential pop. And like I said, 15 to 20 bucks is what I am expecting. And remember that every single news that is going to hit the tape, whether good, it's going to move higher, bad is going to move lower. But what is your risk on this investment? Zero. So it's about $4.50 risk for this trade, for potential to make a lot of money going into very close to $20. Now I'm going to take you guys and I am going to show you something very interesting in case you want to take your trading to the next level. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So I'm inviting you guys. I have a special offer for you for the stock swing trader. We never have discounts on any of our programs, but a lot of the members, not members, but a lot of the traders asked if they can join our programs, and especially the stock swing trader is going to be the program where I'm going to put my 90% of the time into stocks and investing. And we're going to come this year. I know we've been having that on a back burner, but I was so busy with day trading, with swing trading, and my own portfolio handling and all that stuff, and teaching classes that I really didn't have a lot of time to dedicate to finishing my love project, which is investing. I had started my career many, many years ago, about 35 years ago, in investing, in basically being on the institutional side of investing. And right now, I want to go back to my first love, which is investing. So I'm going to come up with an investing course, and that's going to be sometime soon. I can't put a date on it, but I hope it's going to be into the first quarter. It is a course that is almost done. It has to, I still need to put some tweaks on it. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be about value investing, right? So it's more into the Warren Buffett style of trading. I was a student at Columbia University, and that is where I furthered my education into investing here in the US. I really want to put everything together that I have learned in Europe and also in here at Columbia, and deliver you guys a unique investing course that you're not going to find anywhere around. So it's going to blend fundamentals with technicals, and it's going to be phenomenal for your long-term goals. All right, but before that, in order to have money to put into your investing accounts, you must either day trade or swing trade. And today's offer is going to be about swing trading. I do run a program. It's called the Stock Swing Trader. I have run this program since 2010, since TradeOutLoud came about. It is the oldest program. I have been an investor and swing trader my whole entire life. This is something that I love doing because it doesn't chain me to the computer. It's something that you can do on the go. You could travel, and you could have your positions working for you. You could take actionable ideas, whether you want to do options. I personally do not do options, but you could actually use it for your options trading as well and design your own options trades based on my calls. So the Stock Swing Trader is the oldest program that we have at TradeOutLoud, and it is one of, I would say, one of the most successful programs that we have. We have a lot of traders and we have hedge funds managers into our program. We have portfolio managers into our program. And we've had them for more than 10 years. And we also have people from all walks of life. We even have financial advisors into our program, into the Stock Swing Trader. So I want to invite you guys. This is where you will find out where to buy, where to sell, what stocks are on focus, what is my focus list. You're going to have access to a lot of information in here. First of all, this is the program that will clear out a lot of your concepts. So if you're a busy professional and if you don't have time, to day trade, this is something that you may consider. 2025, I believe, is going to be packed with opportunities because we're heading on to a very strong start. The market is into a really good position for launching higher. And I just want to emphasize that even when the market is lower, if you have a retail account, we can short. And also we can look at some inverse ETFs. But if there's a bullish market out there, and if there is a bullish move out there, a bullish stock, we will find it. I do have a lot of scanners that I use. So basically I have about 3 scanners that I use. So I have invested a lot into finding the best trades. And trust me, it's better than having any assistant, right? Because I do have help from these 3 scanners. Like altogether, they're literally over $5,000 per month, okay, to run. And these are professional scanners, and at least one of them you cannot find on the retail side. And first of all, what can be seen? What can you expect from the Stock Swing Trader? Well, first of all, we deliver every single week a weekly newsletter, and I'm going to show you a sample in a second. So when you, for example, are receiving this newsletter, you're going to find inside a lot of information. First off, you're going to find the analysis of the prior week. What were the winners? What were the laggers? The performance? What sector performed? And you're going to get a lot of insights of what happened, how the macro environment impacted price action. We're also analyzing key levels, right, for each and every single index. Today was just, kind of like a very brief analysis on what we do on a week-to-week basis. It's just to show you where we see some projections and how we calculate some projections for 2025. But we deliver the weekly market outlook. It is a video that contains the analysis, the key levels, and insights. You cannot miss and you cannot trade without, whether you're doing swings into these indices, whether you're doing options. Going to give you the exact levels for the week. Also, you're going to get a list with a major earnings report so you can stay ahead with the week's biggest announcements. You're not caught by surprise. For example, if you own Apple and if you have Apple as a swing trade, so if you have it as an investment, earnings don't count. But if you hold it as a swing trade, you may want to take a decision whether to take profits on it or take yourself out of the trade before earnings, or just stay in the trade. And I give you all the options of what you can do. And in case you want to hold it, what you need to look for in case you want to sell it, the level you want to sell it at, etc. So you're not going to be left uncovered. This is a service that nobody has ever seen. It's really, that attention to detail is right there. Plus, we provide you with the economic releases. These are the key events that could shake the markets. We're also going to provide you with the top stocks to trade with full analysis and exact trading parameters. So for your trading success, access real-time performance portfolio. So you can keep tabs on the latest move. And also I do provide management ideas and management solutions. So if you do not know how to trail, I provide that for you. We're also going to provide you access to an X private feed with updates, charts, market conditions, and risk management. We're also going to receive a risk management guideline to protect your portfolio like a pro. We're also going to provide you with position size calculators so you can position for your trade according to your account size. So basically, you get everything you need to know ahead of the market, ahead of market open, in order to dominate that week, and week after week after week. So the program, like I said, like with any high-end program that is meticulously designed, we never offer any discounts. We're offering $500 off the yearly membership because we believe in commitment. Day trading is on a day by day. You can come into the program for one day, you can come into the program for 1 week, or you can come into the program for 1 month. When it comes to swing trading, you need to be there. Like 1 month is not indicative for the performance. And I'm going to show you the performance of the portfolio as well in a second, but it's not indicative. What if you join for a month and you go like, oh, can I have a 2 week trial, please? It's like, what if you don't have any movement within that 2 weeks? What if the market is sideways? What if the market is sideways the way it was beginning of December all the way to the FOMC, right? And it was like there was not much activity, so we didn't really have a lot of positions on. Okay, so you would go like, oh, okay, there weren't a lot of trades called. We didn't have all through, but you're not looking at the chart and seeing that, oh my gosh, there was nothing happening into the market. So we believe in this long-term commitment. So that's the reason why I want to provide you with this discount. It's $500 off the yearly membership, and this offer is going to expire tomorrow night. So we believe in the fact that action takers are money makers. Okay, so if you sign up now, instead of $3,000, which is listed on the website, you're going to get it for $24.99. And by the way, this is the link here. So I'm just going to copy and paste this into the room right now. So if you want to take advantage of this, okay, let me see. All right. Oh, I don't know that link that I gave you guys. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna give you the direct link right now so you can access it. And you're also gonna receive it in the email, but before that, let's just I don't know why it's not working. Okay, you guys can tell me. All right, cool. And then I'm gonna answer some questions. Okay, cool. All right, so this is the link. So when you sign up, you're gonna there's a coupon code there, and it is, I think it's 500 off. 500 off is the coupon code. You're gonna receive the email. This is going to be coupon code is 500 off. Okay. All right. So, what you get with this program, so I just want to tell you real quick, you get the Stock Swing Trader newsletter, which is something like this. So this is a newsletter that we sent out, I think, a couple of weeks ago, in which, take a look at here, we were looking at quantum computers, right? So quantum computers, daily buy here. Do you guys want to see where these stocks are at right now? IonQ, RGTI, QUBT. I mean, this is something that, I mean, by the way, this is extraordinary. Okay. Let me see here if I have it. Okay. I'm just going to show you one. Okay. This is the buy that I was mentioning. Okay. In the newsletter. You guys see it here? Oops. Sorry. Okay. Buy over 34.25. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do one more. Let's see this QUBT. You guys see it? Boom. Okay, look how awesome this is. And these are calls that are made in the newsletter. I'm doing a lot of research, like I said, into stocks, and I plan on doing even more research this year because I tend to intensify my swing trading and investing, trying to unchain myself from the computer even more. All right, so this is what you can expect. So you can expect, the analysis of the S&P. You can expect more information about, FOMC and what's to come. You get the week in the rear view mirror, et cetera, et cetera. You get here the market outlook, which is something like this. Okay. So you market prep, and we go through every single index. We go through stocks that, we analyze and that we have on our list. Okay. So that's, one thing that we present to you guys. You also have access to the performance portfolio, which is right here. Okay. So you can see, our position. You're going to have real-time access to this. So with the newsletter, you have access to the video. So you're prepared for the week to come. You're also going to have access to this real-time performance tracker, in which I will post at the end of each week or whenever we have a trade that is developing, because trades don't only develop on Saturdays or Sundays or for the following week or on Tuesdays. They happen every day. So setups happen every day. So this is where you will find all the trades with the entries, the stops, the targets, and of course at the end, management trail. You can see you found all the trail stops here. So if you are not sure, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't remember. What did she say in the video? Or what did she say on the private feed on Twitter, right? On X. I don't remember. You're going to find all the information here as well. And you have the private X feed. Okay. And here you have, all the information. Okay. So for example, we analyze stocks. I'm giving you VIX updates, giving you stock updates here, giving you, all these details, another gift because it's moving higher. So you're going to find a lot of information about the market. So you're going to be kept into the loop. And going back to the newsletter here, you're going to have the major earnings for the week. You're going to have the calendar. You're going to have the weekly performance. And here you have, some very confidential information on how you need to trail, how you need to enter trades and all that fun stuff. So if you're wondering how 2024 it was amazing. It was amazing. It still did not beat my 2020 portfolio, which I was extremely aggressive, but it was phenomenal. These are the returns. December is not closed yet, so I want to show you. So it's not that I don't want to post it. It's just that we have a lot of positions that are not closed and that they're still trading. We still have Amazon. We still have Marvell. And take a look at Marvell here, what it did. So I'm not closing the position just because the year ended, right? Look at Marvell, and this was the trade initiated in December, right? Into the last week of December or something like that, last 2 weeks of December. And look how we initiated at $114, closed at 118. So we still have positions that are not closed. So whenever that's going to close, it's going to be super positive. It's going to be double digits gains, but we need to wait for those positions. That's why I said, you have to wait. You can't try this program for a week or for 2 weeks because you have trades that we have been in. And for example, I also have pointed out some investments that I did into here. So if you're looking for some tips, it's not an investment service. We are going to come up with a new service, which is going to be the investing service very soon, along with the course that we're going to be offering. It's going to be together. But if you're wanting to create cash flow, this is the program for you. And if you don't want to be chained to your computer every single day, this is the program for you. All right, so this is the performance. The forecast, I'm going to send you guys in the email. We have the 2024 forecast that we did in January 2024, and we had another forecast that we did in June, at the end of June of 2024, and we were 100% right on the money. So if you guys want to take advantage of the program, the link is up there. And I'm really happy to answer some of your questions right now. Um, and yeah, brand new year, new profits, new opportunities. I'm so excited. All right, so taking advantage of that, like I said, we never offer, and I'm pretty sure we're never going to offer another sale again. This is because I have had a lot of traders interested into our swing program because it is that VIP program where you don't need to be in front of the computer. So I'm going to be answering some questions right now. All right. All right. When can you? Well, the newsletter is going to be sent out on Monday night. However, I am going this week. I'm going to be sending out on Sunday, so it's preferable uh, if you sign up, you're going to be getting it on Sunday night, because there are some opportunities that are really coming into the market. As soon as Monday morning. So I really want to be positioned for Monday morning. Yes, this session was fully recorded. You guys are going to have access to the archived link. All right. And let's see. All right. Do I have a trading room for swing trading? No, for swing trading. We do offer courses for swing trading, for day trading, for investing. Like I said, we're going to come with, we have one already prepped and we just need to launch. But we don't have a trading room for swing trading. Swing trading is when you detach yourself from the computer. We do have a trading room for day trades, for day trading futures. All right, this is a wrap, everybody. Hope you guys had a really great time here and hope you found this presentation valuable. It's been a couple of hours already, almost an hour and a half. So I hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. Happy New Year. Happy prosperous New Year. So remember, this offer is only valid until tomorrow night. So thanks so much, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the program on Monday.